Hello. Welcome, my friends, to the West Real Estate Program, the program that gives you the best advice on everything to do with real estate. And the advice is given by professionals involved within the industry. Today's episode comes from 101 Residential. I'm going in there, dying for me to come in. Look, you see? Here's what the rest of the team are up to this week.
You tired of those restless, sleepless, sweaty nights during summer? Well, today, I go in search for air conditioning bliss for your home.
And I check out the real estate market in the Pilbra, show you how to maximise the sale potential for your home with some simple styling tips. Plus, I take you inside the Fresh Start Home Expo.
Scotty, I'm back. Yeah, are you stoked I'm back?
I am.
Hey, thanks to the youth in the boat in the week. It
No,
was
no
really
worries.
nice.
Good
The weather
weather.
was great.
Yep. Too
got
easy,
the
mate.
fish, fantastic. It was brilliant. Last week, you know I was here, remember me?
Yep.
We went to Red Ink, had a good look at it,
Yep.
nice close look. Now
Yes.
this week, I want to focus a bit more on 101 Residential. Can you go into a little more detail for me about it?
Sure. 101 Residential, different to the Red Ink, still targets the project market of residential homes, but obviously with the 101, there's a two-storey component to it.
Okay.
One of the reasons why we started a competitive product into the same marketplace is that we saw a need to create a point of difference, being that it is two-storey, but it's lightweight construction.
When I think of lightweight construction, Scott, I worry. I think of cardboard, I think of cheap plastic. Am I wrong?
You're wrong. You've got nothing to fear with lightweight construction.
Happy to be wrong.
The methods we're using have been adopted from different parts around the world. The technology, the research we've put into what we're using in far as products go, gives us a 6-star energy rating, keeping it cost effective. The benefits exceed any fear you may have. There's nothing to be fearful of. I think all the new subdivisions now, the block sizes have gone traditionally from, say, 5 or 6 years ago, you could find a 600 square metre block. Yeah. Nowadays, most block sizes ranging between 380 and 450 in a lot of the estates. So again, keeping on a plot ratio of a 50-50 plot ratio, so the house size up against the block size is a 50-50 ratio. So you've got to go upstairs is the only way to get volume in it.
Right.
And then, traditionally two-storey homes are a lot more expensive than what the 101 product is. Keeping it cost effective is part of that lightweight construction aspect.
Scotty, I want to come back. We need to talk in more detail.
Cool.
But first, here's Hayley at ch7 Designs.
I'll bet just about all of you have been to a home open at some point and seen some pretty shocking attempts by the sellers to try and revamp the house for sale. I'm talking about feature walls on every wall in colours that just have no business being inside a house, and other tacky attempts at redecorating an otherwise old home to try and make it look super modern. Well, good on them for trying, but sometimes it's definitely a job that's better left to the experts. 740 Designs are the revamping, redecorating and refurbishing experts, which means they know all of the tricks to help give your home a facelift the right way, which can not only add extra dollars onto sale price, but it can make an otherwise outdated space a home you can be proud of. Now Sky, you've got some great tips for adding a bit of fresh life into an older home. What are some of the golden rules?
Well, furniture is a great tool to distract the eye from any imperfections of the home, and also placing the furniture in a way that potential buyers can visualise themselves using that space. And remember to add texture but avoid overusing too many different colours.
So don't go crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about choosing the style for refurnishing the home?
Choose a style to go with the age of the house. So traditional house, maybe choose more classic pieces. A newer house, go for modern.
So stick with what you've got a little bit.
That's right.
When it comes to selling, first impressions count. If the buyer can't imagine themselves living in the property, it can mean the difference between a sale and a courtesy walkthrough. So try to cater for the tastes of the greatest percentage of prospective buyers. Keep it simple and stylish. So Sky, what about those really awkward spaces? You know, like the junk rooms, because everyone has one.
They do. It's good to give the room a purpose. So in this area, because it's so large, we've made this second lounge room, but it could also be a kids' retreat.
It could also be a parents' retreat to get away from the kids too though, right?
That's right.
Now you've done the same thing with the room next door as well.
Yeah, that room was a lot smaller, so we've turned that into a private study and it doesn't have to cost a fortune.
But it does also add value to the home too.
It does, it's a great way to add value.
A beautifully decorated house can mean all the difference. It can help the buyer appreciate all of the good aspects of the home without focusing on any of the outdated negatives. While even those with an eye for style can be keen for a DIY revamp, it can be quite daunting knowing just where to start. So that's why consulting with an expert, like the guys at 740 Designs, can make all the difference in maximising the sale potential and saving you a lot of time.
Thank you, Hayley, and everyone there at 740 Designs. You know how much I love you. I think you're great. I'm at 101 Residential still. I'm in a pre-start room where you get to choose all the stuff for your home before it's even built. Look at this. Handles on this side and handles on that side. I love that. After the break, Dan is going to be Jeff Moritz Gas and Air. Can't wait for that. See you there. Still here at 101 Residential, just sort of messing with their stuff. No one's watching me. Oh, now here's Dan with some great cooling and heating ideas. He's very good at that sort of thing. He's full of hot air and gas, is Dan. Ha ha ha.
How cold did it get this winter? Some of those nights were literally freezing. And I know with summer around the corner, I'll be facing all the usual problems of sleepless nights and a bed full of sweat. You know, what I need is some form of air conditioning, just something to make life a little bit more bearable. And I know exactly who to turn to. See, like many products that we feature on this show, I've gone to an industry leader. Now, this is a business that's helped more than 30,000 Perth families over the past 30 years to become the largest family-owned air conditioning company in WA. Of course, I could only be talking about Jeff Moritz Gas and Air. From humble beginnings, Jeff has built his air conditioning company to the position of market leader. He's been Perth's most awarded dealer by leading brands such as Bonaire, Fujitsu, Actron Air and Toshiba. Air conditioning your home can become confusing because there's so many options out there. What you need is an expert to help you choose the right system for your lifestyle, and that is where Jeff and his team excel. Jeff, thanks for joining me. Why is it that Bonaire ducted evaporative seems perfectly suited to our climate and I guess Perth families as well?
Yeah, well, it's an ideal family product. You know, it's a fresh air system, fantastic to sleep with. The hotter the day, the cooler these systems perform. You can get up to 12-degree temperature drop during those hot summer days. You know, they're just a wonderful family product.
It's actually physically quite a large unit as well. Is it something that's quite expensive to install?
Well, that's the beauty of these Bonaire units. They're, you know, to do a whole family home, it's about $4,500, and the great thing is they're only $1 a day to run, you know, so they're just, again, a great family product.
Now, you're actually the most awarded Australian Bonaire rep in this country, is it?
Yes.
You must be doing something right, mate. Well, I mean, what's the key to that?
Yeah, well, I've been around for about over 30 years now, and with Bonaire for 20 years, and they've been in business 60 years, and with all that, we kind of know, you know, how to put these things in. We've put about 30,000 in.
Oh, I've come to the right place.
You certainly have.
Jeff, this is a home buyer centre display home. What system have you got in here?
Well, we put in a Fujitsu ducted reverse cycle system in here. They heat during the winter and cool during the summer. That's what most people want.
Are they expensive units?
Well, they've gone down in price over the last year through competition, etc. And you know, for about $8,500 supplied and installed, it's just fantastic value.
So Gas and Air, a reputed company, I mean, what's the benefit of buying from you?
Well, we've been 15 years with Fujitsu and put in thousands of them, and we've just this year proudly won the WA Dealer of the Year and also the National Dealer of the Year award. So, you know, that's a good reason to come and see us.
In addition, for a limited time, every Fujitsu ducted inverter system installed receives a free barbecue package valued at $1,800. Look, I'm convinced that Jeff Moritz Gas and Air is the best choice for all your air conditioning this summer and beyond. Now, if you'd like more information, you can go to the westrealestateprogram.com.au website, and from there, you can follow all the links.
If you're thinking about cleaning up around the house, renovating or even moving this spring, don't get caught out, think Thrifty. Because Thrifty have a range of rental vehicles to suit your needs, with a massive selection of utes and vans you can drive on a regular car licence. Thrifty really does offer you great value. Plus, if you're an RAC member, you'll enjoy an exclusive discount. So if you're going to do it yourself this spring, make sure you're thinking thrifty.
Thank you, Harley. I'm just doing a little bit more research before my next chat with Scott. See you after the break. Welcome back, my friends, to the West Real Estate Program with the wonderful Scott Park from 101 Residential and Reading Homes. Scott, you mentioned the word pod, which I love because it makes me think of Lost in Space and time travel.
Well, time, interesting point you make that, because that's one of the unique things about the pod is the time advantage. When we actually start construction on site, we're actually also starting the construction of the pod off-site in a controlled environment, a factory, and that is where we pick up all the time, and we can then target our completion range to be 22 to 24 weeks, which is very much the same as a single residential home, except we've got the two-storey aspect of it.
This comes as a whole piece.
So, yeah, it's all constructed.
Wow.
Well, it's actually broken into sections, so it obviously got to fit on a truck, so they can be quite big. But then they come out the site, they've lifted into place individually, joined together. Within 24 hours that process is finished. We can then start construction on the lower roof area. So that's the biggest time saver.
Love it.
Cost effective wise of doing
It's
it.
really great. Stay with me, Scott. We're coming back again, but first we're going to see John Percadani and wonderful Lisa. They're going to weave some magic for us. Great. Have a look at this.
I'm joined once again with John Percadani from Realmark for some more property tips. How are you, John?
Good, Lisa.
Now, I've been reading in the newspaper lately a lot of downsizing that's happening with the mining industry. Is this affecting the housing market at all?
Look, I don't think it's impacted on the housing market as yet, but you know, no doubt it's affecting overall sentiment into the marketplace. But I think we've got to look beyond that.
Yeah, I mean, especially here in the city, there's a lot of development going on with the new foreshore and the arena at the northern end, so that's all got to be a positive.
Sure, I think as indicative by the construction behind us here, certainly there are sectors of the market that are still very buoyant. And I think if we look beyond the immediacy of today's headlines, I mean, the underlying fundamentals are that we have very low stock levels in the marketplace, the lowest we've had in years. We've got reducing days on market, reducing discounting off selling prices. So the underlying story of the property market is actually quite a positive one, particularly in the right sectors. Not all sectors, but in most sectors there's certainly a very buoyant situation there.
So amidst all the concerns, your take on it is it's all generally quite positive still?
I think we've got to look at the macro. I think if we look, generally speaking, we've got a rising population, we've got a strong economy, we've got big infrastructure projects happening, we've got the government talking about some really key transport issues now, which will have major impact in the urban fabric and development. So to me, the medium and long-term outlook for Perth generally and the property market in particular is a positive story, and I think people should be focusing on that.
Absolutely. Thanks once again for your time.
Pleasure, Lisa.
So if you're looking for the advantage, whether you're buying, selling or renting your property, head to realmark.com.au.
At the end of a freezing cold winter in Perth, it can be pretty tempting to think about packing it all up and heading north for some decent sunshine and some holiday living. Well, what about taking a permanent vacation and swapping the traffic jams for a boat ramp, the stiff office shoes for a nice pair of thongs, and the shopping malls for a national park? Doesn't sound too bad, does it? Karratha is one of WA's largest and fastest growing mining towns with a ton of potential. No longer just a town for the fly-in, fly-out workers, plenty of folks are choosing to make the move to this town with a mix of the seaside living and rugged outback beauty. In the local Aboriginal language, Karratha actually means God's own country. But don't just take my word for it. Speak to the property experts at First National in Karratha, who don't just work here, they live here. Kim, thanks very much for having us here in Karratha. Now, back down in Perth, we keep hearing all of these reports about the mining boom and how the bubble has burst. But walking around the town of Karratha, it doesn't look that way to me.
No, you're onto it, Hayley. Look, there's a few reports out there and I don't know why, but we've got things happening down the street there that you've seen. We've got the multi-storey complexes being built there. You've got the recreation centre, you've got new primary schools, new shopping centres and everything happening up. The roads are being widened. We've even got a set of traffic lights up here now, Hayley. That's how far forward we've come, yeah. And look, it's all good.
So what does that sort of mean for the real estate market up here?
Look, it flows on from there because obviously all the tradesmen and everyone have got to live somewhere or rent somewhere, and that's where we come into it.
Well, you guys are the locals, so you should know. Tell us a little bit more about First National.
Hayley, we've been operating in town here for around 15 years now. We're a family-based company.
So I'd love to have a look around a couple of properties if that's all right.
What I might do, Hayley, is organise Jackie from our sales team to show you through a property that she's got for sale and tell you all about it. And I've also got Deb, who's in charge of organising all the new listings and property management side of things, and she'll show you what we've got on offer there too.
Excellent, can't wait. So Deb, what is the rental market like up here?
Hayley, we're very fortunate to be in a very vibrant rental market at the moment, to have many houses on our books and many new ones coming in, like this one we have over here. It's a 5x2 modern interior, energy efficient, fully air conditioned, and it's cyclone rated.
So Jackie, you head up the sales department at First National. How long have you been there?
I've been in First National for 5 years. Absolutely love it. It's a great team environment. We have a lot of fun and we work very hard to get our sellers the best price.
And so what is the market like up here?
It's good, like there's still lots of activity, but we just have to be realistic about our appraisals and pricing it right.
Now, this isn't the type of home that you would usually see in Karratha. I mean, this is my type of home, a type of home that you would see in the city. It's absolutely beautiful.
It's amazing. It's like a executive Perth style home in the Pilbra. It's a 6-bedroom, 3-bathroom, Shire approved for a bread and breakfast. It's got a resort style pool. It's absolutely breathtaking.
So you'd have to agree the Pilbra has everything going for it and could be just what you're looking for. To speak to the experts at First National, head to karatharealestate.com.au.
Thank you, Hayley. Thank you, Karratha. After the break, I'm going to talk to Scott Park from 101 Residential. He's going to give me this hamper. He doesn't know it yet, but he's going to give me this hamper. Aren't you, Scott? Welcome back once more to the West Real Estate Program. I'm with the wonderful Scott Park from 101 Residential and Reading Homes. The man is a god in the home industry here in WA. Is it too strong?
Too strong.
God might be up there a bit too strong. Doesn't matter. Hey, now, let me think. How do I get in contact with you? Is it an easy process? You have a website,
Sure.
I would imagine?
Yeah, look, you can get all our details for 101 Residential at 101residential.com.au. Yep. We've got 10 different display homes around the metropolitan area, all within driving range. At the moment, we've got the Destination on as our promotional home. Mm-hmm. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 2-storey home. Yep. And that's available for less than $220,000, including Dakin air conditioning, the refrigerated air conditioning.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's good value.
I know some people from, say Dalkeith will spend 200 grand just on air conditioning.
Yeah. We'll chuck in the house.
Chuck in the house. I love it. Scott, it's been an absolute pleasure for the last 2 episodes talking to you. And it's a great business, great people, looks great, works well. Fantastic. Now, we're going to see Hayley at Home Expo. Oh, she loves it out there.
Building or renovating can be a pretty full-on experience. There's so much to consider and plan for that it can get very overwhelming and very, very time-consuming. So wouldn't it be handy if you could just go to the one place and find everything you need to build, landscape, finish and decorate your home all in the one spot? Well, funny you should say that, because right now over 150 exhibitors are gearing up for this year's Fresh Start Home Show and Perth Pool and Spa Expo at the Perth Convention Centre. Now this is the mecca of all things home, and we'll see talks and demonstrations from a team of experts, as well as displays from some of WA's leading builders, decorators and manufacturers, all in one spot. I'm joined here today by Dave Moran. Now, Dave, you're a bit of a familiar face. Everybody might know you from being one half of the DIY team Nuts and Bolts.
That's right.
So you're going to be here the whole weekend giving out some demonstrations and helping some people with some DIY tips.
Yes, indeed. We'll be here at Fresh Starts, Dean and I. We've got some DIY projects to do. We're going to get some people up from the audience and get them involved. There's always a bit of fun and a competition to be had, so we're hoping to interest some people and give away some prizes.
And so if people have got a few questions, they can come up and ask you for some tips?
Absolutely, that's the tradition. We've been working with the exhibit on these shows for quite many years now. It's always great. Everybody's ready to ask a question. They're very interested, and these are people that are passionate about what they're doing in renovating or building, so it's always a very pleasant experience.
So Dave, where do first-time home builders and renovators usually go wrong? Like, what can be a bit of a stumbling block?
Well, look, something that I think is a good trend is that they're now starting to question the traditional building methods like double brick and looking for alternative, new methods that are maybe more energy efficient. So they're going away, they're departing from the norm, if you like. And expos like Fresh Start, where they can find those ideas, they have an opportunity to rethink what they're going to do and move outside the traditional square.
Get a fresh start on home building.
You got that right.
As well as the nuts and bolts team, there'll be regular gardening, cooking and landscaping demonstrations throughout the 3 days to inspire and educate, as well as the huge range of exhibitors showcasing everything from the latest building systems and materials, lighting, flooring, appliances and white goods, stylish furnishings and everything you need for an incredible outdoor entertaining area this summer. So if your home could do with a fresh start, if you're building, renovating or just have a passion for DIY, then the Fresh Start Home Show and Perth Pool and Spa Expo at the Perth Convention Centre is not to be missed. The show will open on Friday the 19th of October and run right through until Sunday the 21st of October. For more information, head to homeknowledge.com.au.
And that's all we've got time for this week. So thanks for joining us. That was fantastic. Oh, if you want to find out about anything in today's program, go to the website westrealestate.com.au and follow the prompts. And while you're there, get involved in our new e-letter. It's a sort of email newsletter arrangement which has all the news about all the programs, plus some fantastic deals, and there's photos of me lounging around. I trust you enjoyed the program. We'll see you next time. Can't wait.
And that's a wrap.